Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chris Meaney here of FTN, checking in with a few prize picks to consider on this Monday evening. Lots happening in the sports world. 13 games around the diamond, NBA playoffs, and Game 1 between the Montreal Canadiens and the Vegas Golden Knights this evening at 9 o'clock Eastern at T-Mobile Arena. The most lopsided NHL semifinal matchup over the last 31 years as the Golden Knights enter as minus 460 favorites. Wow. This despite the Canadiens coming in riding a 7-game winning streak, having trailed for 1 second over those 7 games. But the Golden Knights, heavy favorites. Of course, I want to talk hockey with you today. There's a few prize picks that stand out to me that I want to share with you guys, but you can mix and match across all the sports that you love. Free content over at ftndaily.com every single day. You click the chat link up at the top of ftndaily.com. It'll get you in our free Discord prize picks channel where there are even more picks flying around. But I want to talk hockey with you. The promo code to use is FTN, a 100% first deposit match of up to $100 using that promo code. And if you're a new user, a free 2-pick entry, a chance to win yourself 50 bones. So as you see the board here, just the one game, but several different options over at PrizePicks.com. Fantasy scores, shots on goal, as well as saves. We're going to touch on all of these here with you today. My favorite play is Jonathan Marchessault at 3.5. He had a fantastic second round against the Avalanche. He had 5 goals. One of the games he had a hat trick. He finished with 7 points in 6 games. He had 16 shots on goal. In fact, the William Karlsson line with Marchessault and Riley Smith were absolutely brilliant in the second round against the Avs. I know Nazem Kadri wasn't there, and there was a mismatch, on paper between the two lines, but Vegas took advantage of it. They combined for 18 points, that line, in 6 games. And I think they'll have their way with the Nick Suzuki, Tyler Toffoli, and Cole Caulfield line as well. They play a little bit looser, a couple turnovers I've noticed. You got to bet that Philip Deneau is going to come over the boards every single time that Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, and Chandler Stevenson hop on the ice as well. And say what you want about the lack of offense that Deneau has offered the Canadiens, but that's not his job. He limited Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner to 1 goal in a 7-game series. And I know Mark Scheifele only played 1 game, but he frustrated the hell out of him in that 1 game because he took a stupid penalty and he was suspended for the rest of the series. So Philip Deneau, a great shutdown center, and I think that's going to be the role for Arturi Lehkonen and Brandon Gallagher, who we'll get to in a little bit. So it leaves a little bit more wide-open offense here. The Marchessault line, they've been together since Vegas' very first game in the NHL. They weren't great last year in the playoffs, and they were bouncing round 3. They've been awesome here in the playoffs here. 3.5 is a number that I think we can get to for Marchessault. He's had multiple games with 7 shots and multiple games with 4 shots. So he could get 4 shots here and a goal, and we'll get there, but certainly a goal will get us there at 3.5. Half a point for a shot, half a point for a block, 2 for an assist, and 1 for a goal. So I like that line a lot here in DFS. So taking the over 3.5. And then I see Alex Pietrangelo at 3.6. I like the over here as well. He is 3rd in these NHL playoffs at all strengths in shot attempts and shots on goal. He's got 88 shot attempts and 46 shots on goal. And over his last 5 games, he's got 20 shots and 21 blocks. That's crazy. 40-plus shots and blocks over his last 5 games. Half the point for a block there. He's coming in riding a 4-game point streak with 5 points. He's been very consistent, getting a lot of ice time. He correlates well with Marchessault as well because he's on the second power play unit with Marchessault. They're both on the point. You got Alex Tuch there, Riley Smith, and William Karlsson. I believe that is the line. That's the power play line, and that's the line at 5-5 to attack. Max Pacioretty, let's get to him. He's coming in, too, red hot. He's got 4 goals, 8 points, 24 shots, 3.4 shots per game in 7 games here in the playoffs. He missed the first few games, but he's got a point in every single game. A volume shooter and a good one, too. And the former Canadiens captain would love nothing more than to bounce the Habs here in the 3rd round en route to his first Stanley Cup playoff finals. He's going to bring it. He's going to have a little bit of a giddy up in his step. You can bet your butt on that one. And you know what? Listen, it's going to be an adjustment period for Deneau. Usually he has to go up against the opposing team's number 1 center. He had to do that with Scheifele in round 1, and then Wheeler and turn his attention really over to the wingers and Connor and Ehlers to a certain extent. But against Matthews, multiple times over the course of his career, you've heard Nathan McKinnon say that he's been the toughest center that he's ever had to play against, and they've played against each other just a couple of times. So it might be a little bit of an adjustment period for Deneau, having to maybe just turn his attention to Pacioretty as the shooter and the goal scorer on that line. But Pacioretty is a guy who's had at least 3 shots in 5 of the 7 games here that he's played in the playoffs. So I like the over at 3. You get the 3, we get the push, but I think he has 4 shots on goal. He's going to put a lot of pucks towards Carey Price, and that's why I like the over on Carey Price here at 29.5 saves. This isn't a number that he has, we've seen him hit really all that much, especially against the Jets. The Habs just didn't give Winnipeg anything, but this is going to be an adjustment period, not only for Danault against that top line and Pacioretty, but for the entire Habs squad. This is their first trip outside of Canada, the first game that they will play with a full capacity, 18,000 plus here at T-Mobile Arena. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to come out pretty strong. The Canadiens have been off now for just over a week, so they're going to see Vegas and a lot of them, I think, real early in this game. So the Golden Knights, looking at all strengths, they lead the NHL playoffs out of all the teams that are remaining, 31 shots for per 60 at all strengths. So they're up at the top. That's, I think, the 5th best mark overall, but number 1 out of all the playoff teams remaining. No Jeff Petrie here tonight is a big blow for the Montreal Canadiens, and I think the Golden Knights are going to come out pretty strong, and they're going to put a lot of pucks towards Carey Price. And I'm looking for another under. I would go to Brendan Gallagher at 3.5, actually the only under that I have for you. As I mentioned earlier, I think he's going to play a shutdown role with Danault and Lehkonen. The line has been really good at 5 and 5. I just don't know how much offense they're going to be able to generate, because on the other side, Mark Stone is probably the best defensive player in the NHL, in my opinion, and he will be in this series as well. So maybe a defensive battle between both of these lines, a bit of an offensive struggle for the Danault line. So if Gallagher doesn't hit the score sheet, he's going to be under this 3.5. He would need 7 shots on goal to get there, and I just don't think that happens. And I don't think we'll see the Canadiens have a lot of offense in this series, and maybe just a couple adjustment periods overall for Montreal. If you want more action, again, check out ftndaily.com. Free content over there. Click the chat link up at the top. It'll get you in our free PrizePicks Discord channel. Hit me up at Chris Meaney if you have any questions. I'm active in the Discord channel, and I'll circle back here before a puck drop on this video if you have a question as well. FTN, 100% first deposit match. Good luck on the ice. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.